Evening, everyone. Welcome back to my little gardening show. I am downstairs in the grow room. We had a little bit of time this weekend, so I went ahead and decided to try to clean things up. So let me show you around real quick. First thing I did is kind of swept up above where there's a lot of little spider webs and just general stuff. Tried to clean it up a little bit. And then cleaned off my tables as best I could. Could probably be wiped down again, but there's some stains there I just couldn't get. Swept all the just old Pro Mix and potting mix and stuff off here. Tried to wipe down my mat. You can check this out, make sure everything is good. Moved around some stuff. I kind of staged things where I've got some grow mix and stuff underneath this table, and then the rest I got piled up right here on my cart. I just tried to organize some of my stuff here, some of the amendments that I have, some of the little tools. Again, nothing real fancy, but just tried to get it to where, coming in here wasn't like having to step over everything, because there was before a bunch of harvest baskets here, just a bunch of stuff just piled up. Made it hard to kind of get in and out. So let's put it back up on the stand here. Yeah, so anyway, just on a personal note, it's been a little bit of a difficult day. We ended up having to put our little dog down. We've got this miniature dachshund we've had for almost 15 years. Would have been 15 years like next week or whatever. Or not 15 years, but she's almost 15 years old. We've had her for 14. But anyway, I guess one of the things that happens to miniature dachshunds as they get older, there's a couple different things that can happen to them. Some of them can have trouble with their backs, because they're like little wiener dog, right? Problems with their joints and stuff like that. Another thing that can happen to them is they get this collapsed trachea syndrome deal, where the cartilage in their necks kind of wears out or whatever, and they can't clear their throat. It makes it difficult for them to breathe. They kind of gag on themselves, and then they kind of cough to get it open. And anyway, she's been struggling with that for probably the last, couple of years. And the last time we took her into the vet, they said, she could probably live with this for a while, but it's going to progressively get worse. Well, last night it got worse. She just couldn't catch her breath and was more or less hyperventilating, and just kind of, we could tell she's kind of struggling. So anyway, it's never fun to put a pet down or make a decision like that. But we ended up taking her into the vet and had her put to sleep and all that. And it's just sad. I don't know. I don't remember like really crying over a loss of an animal like that or whatever, but it kind of broke me down today, because we've had this dog longer than we've had some of our kids, and she's like been there for just a lot of, through thick and thin, a lot of hard things that we've experienced, as well as a lot of good things, and just a lot of good memories with a pet. So it was almost, it's like losing a member of your family. And so anyway, we had a good cry and just kind of dealt with that today. It's kind of ironic, really, because our other dog that we had for a really long time, we ended up having to have him put to sleep around the same time frame, around Valentine's Day weekend. That was like several years ago. That was probably like 10 years ago. So anyway, consequently, we didn't do a whole lot today, and we just kind of milled around, you know, did some miscellaneous work, and then, like I said, I decided, you know, hey, let's get the grow room cleaned up, get things ready to go for the growing season. So everything's cleaned up. I'm going to probably upgrade. Let me show you these. I could probably flip the camera around. You can see it right in front of me. But these shop lights, I've had these lights since I've been gardening, about 10 years, and the ballasts are pretty well burned out. I've tried putting some new bulbs in there. It didn't really work that well. So consequently, I am probably going to upgrade this lamp, depending if we've got the resources to an LED version. I upgraded this. This is a fixture made by it's at Jungle or Plant Max. Yeah. Anyway, it's LED bulbs, and it's got 2 different zones. Pretty nice. I made a video on this a while back, but pretty efficient. The catch with the LEDs, at least on this, is that they're the light frequency, they're vegetative bulbs, so you're not going to get the warm light or a certain frequency of light that would be used if you were like trying to get stuff to produce fruit. Like if I wanted to grow stuff, you know, not just the vegetative state, like through its like growth state, but if I wanted to grow things indoors and actually produce fruit, like say tomatoes or peppers or whatever, I would want that other frequency of light available to them. Otherwise, they're just not going to do that well in terms of producing fruit. They need that other frequency of light to stimulate that, which is kind of interesting. I think they do make like full spectrum LED fixtures. They're a little bit more expensive though, and for my purposes, I don't really need that. I just need the cooler frequency of light to get them going until I can get them outside, in which case I'll get the full spectrum once they're moved outside. The other thing I'm going to try to do is get another heat mat, if possible. That way I can start seeds on both sides, because it's kind of cool in this room. You know, right now it's hovering over 45 degrees. It's maybe 46, 47 in the grow room right now, because we're out to the garage and there's really no heat in here. There's a vent here, but they've got it pretty well blocked out. I may try to fiddle with that and see if there's ductwork running, if something may open that up so we can get some heat in the grow room. But for the most part, it's going to hover around 50 degrees, at least in the winter time, the dead of winter like this. It may get a little bit warmer if I get the lamps going. If I get these heat mats, you know, let's say I'll get 2 heat mats going, it's going to bring the temp up in the room a little bit along with the lights, but for the most part it's going to be pretty cool, cold growing to get things going. So I got my seeds stored in here right now. They were in the refrigerator, but we're using it for other things. It's cold enough to grow them. Everything's good. It's not, you know, it's not stressing the seeds out. Ideally, you want to store your seeds in like a cooler environment, cool, dry environment. Let's see here. Also got my, I showed this in another live stream, but my planting dates as far as when I want to start seeds indoors and what I want to do. So, beginning of March is when I'll likely start a few things indoors, depending on the weather. If our winter runs kind of later, like it's still pretty cold, I may hold off and wait and start things a little bit later. So all this is relative. There's a lot of flexibility here, where I don't have to be militant or real adamant about starting on that particular week, but can flex depending on the weather. Still got plenty of containers. I'd ordered another batch of these last year, and these pots work great. I can get one out. Pretty deep. You don't need this much potting mix. Like if I was going on a larger scale, I'd probably use smaller pots and try to conserve resources a little bit. But since my garden's kind of modest size, I can afford to be a little liberal with things. Another thing we're saving are these grocery sacks. One thing I noticed, if you use the pickup services, which we've done a couple times at Kroger now, the bags that they use to bag your groceries compared to the ones you get in a store, the ones they give you are a lot thicker. And what I was thinking, like, wow, I could use these to, for harvesting, like when we're picking, cucumbers or squash or whatever, we can utilize those plastic bags instead of the harvest baskets. Instead of a big bulky basket, we just have a bag I can give a kid, go down there and fill that up with some cucumbers or whatever, and then bring them back. We'll put them in the fridge or whatever. So anyway, as we're doing that, we're kind of stashing the bag. So I've got a couple, more than enough. Show you what I'm talking about here. So they seem to be about 4 times thicker. Than the other ones you would typically get. And there's Tom. What's up, dude? How's your keto fast going? I've been watching your videos, by the way. I just haven't been commenting on them. I probably should, so that way the algorithm pick them up and promote them and all that good stuff. We've been cleaning. We got everything kind of swept up. Got my mitt lighter. I'm gonna have to get some more mineral packets, so I'm down to 2 here. So it's just going. I did a little bit better than I normally do. Only had like a half a cup of coffee. Normally I have like 2 cups a day. I'm drinking some tea right now, so I guess kind of same difference. Yeah, we're getting ready for the grow season. I got, I don't know, a few things I need to get ready. Yeah, this weather is not fun to work on cars, I imagine. Just cold. I mean, that's probably when oh, things are getting busy for you, though. I bet people are calling you all the time, wanting stuff done in weather like this. Because I mean, this type of weather, everything that starts breaking down, right? My speaking of which, my check engine light came on again, so I'm guessing it's related to I don't know, maybe the catalytic converter, or maybe it's thermostat. Maybe it has something to do with yeah. You know, a while back we had somebody come in and steal a bunch of catalytic converters from vehicles. I don't think they hit my car on that. I'm pretty sure they didn't. I don't think I was even at work that day. I was on vacation that week, I think, when that happened. But literally, they were in, and like within like 5, 6 minutes, they had snagged four converters where they just cut them out, right? Somehow got under there, cut them out, had the back end of their truck filled, and took off. Security cameras picked them up and stuff, but didn't get the license plate. But we got a real good snapshot of the truck and all that. And I guess, yeah, they'll probably never catch them, but it's pretty sad. I saw an article, it was a news headline on the feed or whatever, but it was talking about, oh golly, how grocery stores are having problems with theft. And I guess it was talking about Walmart was going to be like putting their steaks in a locked, behind the counter or whatever, in a locked area to prevent shoplifting. And I was like, wow. But I guess, that kind of makes sense. You think about how expensive everything's getting. And if somebody's wanting steak and they don't want to pay for it, how else are they going to get it? So it's kind of sad that it's come to that that grocery stores are having to lock up food, at least the higher priced food, and control. Oh, Walmart. Oh, yeah, I still remember that story. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I can remember, I think it was 2 summers ago, um, people being in the garden, like coming over and I'm guessing picking stuff without us knowing about it or whatever, because there was all these like cigarette butts in the tomato rows, right, where somebody come in and help themselves. Yeah, I got a buddy who we were talking because I guess we know some people that got food allergies where they can't eat red meat or something. It has something to do with the growth hormones or the antibiotics that are in the beef or whatever. So it was suggested that they get elk meat, like something that's hunted, right, or harvested that's not being grown with like hormones or chemicals or whatever. Um, so I don't know. I've never had elk meat or a lot of wild game for that matter. I've had some venison before. I've had squirrel because I guess there's a lot of people, hunters and stuff that enjoy hunting squirrel and will we'll fry it up, or whatever they do with it. But I think I've had rabbit before as well. But aside from that, not anything else really straight into. But funny. Let's look at these outlets real quick. Now I'm kind of wondering if I'm gonna see some ants. I put oh, see that cotton ball up there? These cotton balls there. I had soaked them in borax or whatever, and sugar. I guess there's a recipe online, and it seemed to do the trick. Like initially when I had them, but then they came back where I don't think I got the whole colony or whatnot. I'm guessing there's a colony behind that wall. Yeah, I got a can of Raid somewhere around here. I think it's on top of the fridge on that where I'd used the Raid before too. I think I've got a video on that where I actually sprayed it into the outlet, and the outlet was like sizzling, like making the crackling electricity sound. Oh my goodness. So I don't know how late you jumped on, but we had to put our little dog down today. My little miniature dachshund. So now we got just the two cats. We actually had a stray cat that came up on the house like this past summer, kitten or whatever, and had a couple different problems. Yeah, it's hard, man. Even tonight we were making dinner and stuff, and no, I don't need more cats. We were making dinner and all that, and usually I gotta shoo the dog out of the kitchen, or I gotta scold her. We play this little game, or she'd play this little game where she would come in, like, is it okay to come in yet? And to get the scraps, I'd have to shoo her off. She'd take off running, and then she'd come back, take off running, or trot away and just lay on the carpet and kind of wait. And then once we were done cooking and stuff and moving to a different part of the living area there, she would come in and whatever. I didn't have to do that tonight, right? So I don't know, it's going to be different, be interesting. The other thing too, like anytime I come home, like she'd always be sitting on the stairwell up top, usually waiting for me at night. I get off work, like she kind of knew about what time I'd get home and always be there waiting. So that won't be happening anymore. So anyway, we got the two cats. Kids have been loving on them today, like spending more time with them than they normally do. And I don't know, we probably aren't going to get a dog for a while. I'm going to wait and see, and kind of take our time, before doing that again. Because actually, a dog's kind of a lot of work, right? And responsibility, and like if you go anywhere, you got to make sure that they're taken care of. At least if you're going to be out for an extended period of time. So I don't know. We'll kind of see how that plays out. But I ordered some eggplant today from Baker Creek. I know you mentioned you got some eggplant too. I think it's called camo or something. It's supposed to be some kind of Japanese delicacy that you can slice up, and eat. You can eat it raw. You can eat it. You can fry it up. You can cook it, whatever. So ordered some of that and some other greens that they were promoting. One that was like a cross between pak choy and some other green. It looked kind of cool. Kind of see how that goes. I don't know if I've got any eggplant in the seed stash here. Otherwise, oh, actually, I do. I don't know if it's any good, but it's astracom. So I may try growing some of this too. We'll see how that works. I like eggplant. It's just we haven't had a lot of success with it in our area. And I don't want to use like 7 dust, or like a harsh like insecticide or whatever. But usually when I get those plants out there, they get hit with the flea beetle pretty good. For whatever reason, the flea beetles love them, and usually chew that up. I try that diatomaceous earth. I got this other stuff. Captain Jack's Dead Bug Brew. So, yeah. So anyway, we might try that this year and see if that does anything. Well, and I did when I was cleaning, I found this. You remember this? You giving me that? That's the pressure canner weight or whatnot for the. I guess they work on a couple different brands of pressure cookers. Yeah. Trying to think what else. Oh, I found my. These were stashed away too. My shelf liners for watering the trays. These things work great. You can spread that out and then dump a whole gallon of water on there, and it doesn't wash out the seeds. It just kind of filters through. So we'll plan on using some of those too. Yeah, so anyway, pretty well ready. Just waiting on the weather to warm up a little bit so we can get out in the garden and we can start putzing around with things and start growing some stuff. This grow light that I've got, like I said, I'm thinking about getting another one like it on the other side. I think we'll see how much it cost. I think I got this one for about $200 the last go around, so we'll kind of see. Also need to get some mint lighter mix. I was looking at some tools and stuff too. On this site, Never Sink Farm. You've probably seen him, Connor Crickmore. He's got a lot of neat stuff. But I don't know, we'll see. I got my, yeah. I hope not. We got our taxes done. We're going to be getting back a decent chunk. And then the company I work for did pretty well, so we'll be getting a payout there next Friday. So I'm hoping we can, pay a few things off and then be able to spend a little stuff, get a few little toys here and there. Try to invest a little bit in the garden this year. My wife's kind of hit me up about wanting to maybe take a trip or do something. We got a gift card um, a couple months ago for to was it rent an Airbnb or whatever, which I haven't really done that. My brother's had some luck like um, renting places like that, and we've got some friends that have done that, and seems to be worked out pretty well. So we may may try doing that, go on a little trip somewhere and do something. Go to Orlando. Yeah. Yeah, it looked like you were Did you travel this week? Yeah, we've stayed. Drury Inn. Thinking. So I grew up in Evansville, and I remember when I was in high school. There was a Drury Inn, and I guess one of those big military C-130s. There was like a tragic accident where it lost control, whatever, and it crashed into um, a Drury Inn and killed a couple people. Actually, I was in band, and the guy that played tuba, his dad was actually at that hotel and was killed in that accident. And there was a big settlement or whatever where they paid out. I don't know what it was, but basically after that, he didn't have to worry about working. Let's just put it that way. But crazy. And I guess there's a little restaurant called, I think it was called JoJo's, that was hit too. And but yeah, Cincy's nice. We went down there. We've gone down there a couple times. We went down there and stayed a weekend a couple years ago. They had a big homeschool conference or whatever. I guess they've got a couple of these that happen all over the United States. And because we homeschool the kids, we decided to check it out one year. And I don't know, it's like stereotypical stuff, we got a big old, white van. I don't know how many vans we saw down there that were just like it. It's kind of funny. Well, what was funny too is, being down there, we parked in one of the parking garages and didn't make a note or whatever. Anyway, we got out when it was kind of late at night, and we're trying to find, like, okay, which garage did we park in? So we walked around for a while before we finally found the parking garage we were in, to get back to the hotel and all that. But it's nice. There's a lot to do down there. We've been to the ballpark down there. Jungle gyms, IKEA is another place that we typically go when we're down that way. They also got a Top Golf down there, which I don't know if you probably never been, but you don't need to really know how to play golf to go to one of those places. And it's a lot of fun. Actually, that'd be a lot of fun to do that sometime. A couple of us go or whatever. They got one up in Columbus too, but basically you're on like this. You got the green. There, you set your ball up and you just try to hit it into different targets out in this enclosed area. Yeah. But it's a great time. I don't know. It wasn't like super expensive, but a ton of people. This is pre-COVID. This is the last time I've been out there. They may have changed since then, but a lot of fun. So, anywho, I need to once we get the grow room going, again, whatever seeds you want me to start for you, let me know. Like I said, I'm planning on getting. I'm probably going to get me another grow mat and thermostat so I can double up and start a little bit more, and then upgrade this other set of lights so I can do a little bit more. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that'd be good, and hopefully I can get some stuff started and growing well. I got a buddy who he's hit me up. He bought a greenhouse, or at least the frame of it. It's in like it's kind of rough. It's gonna need some work, but it's a 30 by 30 greenhouse. And once all the snow melts, he's gonna be going out there to take it all apart or whatever, and then put it up somewhere. And he's kind of hitting me up about um, helping him out with that. You know, helping him like learn how to grow stuff and whatnot. So I'm like, man, I gotta. That sounds really cool, but man, that's a lot of work. And gonna have to pray on that one, and kind of see if that's something I'm supposed to be doing. You know, whether I've got the time and whatnot to invest in that. But he owns a landscape business and wants to start growing some of his own stuff as well as like vegetables and things like that. So I don't know. I think he got the frame for like $200. Because again, it's kind of like in disrepair, and the sidewalls need to be redone, and it's going to need a whole. It's going to need to be covered in the greenhouse plastic. Oh, you're going to take the rest of it down this year? Well, if I end up helping out with that again, I want to make sure I get a better saw. Upgrade my my little home light saw to something else that's maybe cuts a little bit better. I don't know. They did a pretty good job as long as I can keep the chain on it. It was small enough that like you could control it pretty well. It wasn't gonna kick back on me real bad or whatnot. We'll see, but yeah, if you're gonna get that, if you're gonna take the rest of that tree down or whatever and need help, I can come over again and help out. Well, I think I'm gonna yeah, I kind of wonder how much that the CNS tree service, how much they would charge to haul all that away. I know, like, pretty much you can take anything out there as far as like yard waste or tree stuff. You know, at least a few times I've been out there, it seemed like guys were coming in with like their big load of all that stuff and just dump it off because they then like recycle it into mulch and whatever. They get big old tub grinders where they're chewing all that stuff up. Would be kind of interesting to see how much they would charge to just handle it. Yeah. Shoot. Well, we'll have to get together. I'm gonna, I think go ahead and shut her down. We gotta get, um, I gotta get on my little kids and make sure they take a bath. They didn't take a shower the other day, so I need to make sure they get ready and get into bed on time. But anyway, we'll have to catch up again. I'll have to jump on here and do some more live streams this winter. It's kind of lazy YouTube. I haven't really sat down to make like a formal video. I'm thinking about maybe doing a little video series on some stuff, but right now I just do some live streams just to keep things going. So, all right, man. Well, hey, well, it's been good chatting. I'll catch you on the next one.